Day 44 of the 75-day challenge, just getting my walk in. Also one of my Turo Go cars that I'm going to leave in case it gets a booking. So I'm just making sure that I grab the photos for it and that the keys are in there and it's locked and ready to go if there's a last minute booking that shows up. And now I'm gonna finish up with my walk. Okay, so getting into my reading of The Wealthy Gardener, lesson 4.29, and actually this next chapter totally creeped me out because of how much it relates to what we have going on today and how useful it could be for a lot of people. Let me grab a sip of water. Okay, so this lesson is called Retreat. Retreat, a period of seclusion, especially for contemplation, a temporary withdrawal from the demands of life. So, kind of what a lot of people are experiencing right now. The best plans unfold in uncompressed times, thought the wealthy gardener. The inner wisdom found on retreats occurs when the mind can expand, revitalize, and regain a detached perspective. A retreat is a period of seclusion, especially for contemplation. A retreat strips away the mundane distractions of life. It removes us from the whirlwind and provides uncompressed time to contemplate life's bigger picture. We see our direction more clearly. There's no hiding behind the frivolous, vapid, superficial engagements that keep us all too busy. On a retreat, we can question life. What do we want? What don't we want? Is our life going in the best direction? What would we change if we could? How can we adjust our course? A retreat is not always a pleasant escape. To do much clear thinking, Thomas Edison said, a person must arrange for regular periods of solitude when they can concentrate and indulge on imagination without distraction. We need time alone to solve the problems that plague our days and sometimes to simply ponder the direction of life. And then I'm going to share with you guys a little story that he shares as well. Most people spend their whole lives climbing the ladder of success, Stephen Covey reminds us, only to realize when they get to the top, the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. Retreats are sometimes to take a closer look at the ladder to reevaluate the wall. When I was 50, my wife and I went on a vacation. And the last day of the trip, we sat on beach chairs, the expansive ocean in front of us, and watched several picturesque sailboats drift lazily on the horizon. I was deep in thought, contemplating my life and dreading the return to the insane work schedule that awaited me back home. What are you thinking at this second? My wife asked, evidently noticing my reflective disposition. I'm wondering, I replied slowly, what is it about my life that makes me dread returning tomorrow? I don't believe in a life that I want to escape. I watched the sailboats drift at sea, and she assured me that it was normal to not want to return to the real world after vacation. Well then, I said quietly, I don't want normal. This broad stroke, big picture, macro view thinking is most possible in an uncompressed time of periodic retreats. It can be just a weekend spent reviewing goals or an entire week to get away from it all. We need to periodically get out of the whirlwind to think about the whirlwind. We must get out of the frame to repaint the picture. On that beach, I realized that I no longer wanted to chase a dollar during my remaining years. I had earned my freedom, and now I wanted to use it. I had to begin working on my bucket list, and before the next year was over, I had changed my schedule to allow me 40 hours a week to write this book. This is the power of a retreat. The life lesson, retreat. I saw that the best plans unfolded in uncompressed times. And so I went on retreats to contemplate my life. And yeah, it's just so crazy that this would have been the next chapter in the book. I think so many people are finally experiencing some time to themselves or with their families to where, you know, they might not have as much to do as they are so normally used to doing, and just with the confinement of what we're going through, I think it's such a great time, and I really hope that people utilize this time to think more deeply about where they are in their lives and what it is that they ultimately want. And I think, especially going through an experience like this, it puts so many things into perspective, right? Your health, your wealth, your well being, and ultimately what you want out of life, especially when something so dramatic can happen. It reminds us that life could be so short and can change in an instant. So, a great lesson that is so highly applicable to where we are today. And I wish the best for people out there that get the opportunity to stay home for a couple of weeks and just get to sort of decompress from it all and maybe focus on themselves. And hopefully, you know, it's just not too much boredom or Netflix, and it's some time towards your future. All right, guys, on that note, that is it for me. Day 44, I believe. And we'll be on 45 tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Bye.